Hello, viewers. How are you today? Yes, we are back again. We are back to give you a very interesting topic, impactful one. I'm here with my amazing brother, looking so very cute.
Yeah.
Yes. So today we shall be discussing the topic says intelligent quotient. Intelligent quotient. As I've said earlier, I'm not here alone. So my intelligent brother is there with me to give a thorough, I said again, thorough definition and explanation on this. So just make sure you are very attentive as we continue. Yes, Mr. James, intelligent quotient. Before we start saying much grammar, let's take it bit by bit. What's the meaning of intelligent? When we say somebody is intelligent, how can you dissect that for us?
Okay. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome.
I would like to break it down because we don't even know the number of persons. We are not based on putting a class of persons who are watching the video. It means that there are people who are high level who will be seeing this video, just so that it will get to that how do I put it now? That one person who may be low to understand us. We would like to say IQ is just a way of measuring your cognitive abilities to function. That is the way you function in terms of your cognitive abilities like comprehension, like problem solving, like memory or reasoning. That is just it. So if we say a person is intelligent, we are saying that that person has abilities to be able to remember a thing and within a specified time, that person can comprehend, that person can understand, that person as well can be smart and quick in problem solving, and then that person too can be able to adapt. I think those are adaptation. Those are words that we can use to define a person's intelligence. So when we add the quotient to it, it becomes a measure where people within a particular age range are now being quantified, where they take samples or take tests to determine who is more intelligent. I think that is it.
Wow. Yes. Wow. You have really explained it. Now I'll just try to buttress it again. Intelligent quotient, I will say that the ability to understand and learn things quickly and easily. You said the other time that when you are talking about intelligent quotient, we have classes where you express about the quotient, that the classes of people, we have middle age and we have the old age. We also have the tender age. When you see in a class, there are some set of students that immediately you write on the board, they grab it easily. And while we have some set of students that they have to take it over and over again before they can get it easily. You also talk about cognitive. Talking about cognitive there, I will say it's this with problem solving skills. Now, I would like to ask this question. As we have this cognitive, is it that it's been affected by environmental factor or genetic factor? Because talking about cognitive means problem solving skills, how you can reason quickly. So is it being affected by genetic factor or hereditary factor?
All right, I would like to put it this way. I feel that both the gene, that is the genetic factor, plays a role as well as the environmental factor. For example, if a person is somewhere where the person does not face challenges to overcome, does not have any problem and all, to see that he or she adapts or strives to become, the person will just be there. If you live in an environment where you have challenges every time, for example, you see that your mates are already becoming a certain thing or already advancing a particular level and you are not, you will now be challenged to, like, there will be a spark inside of you to become better, because environment on the whole plays key roles in people's lives. Let me share a quick story. I got this boy, I started teaching like a month ago or so. He came from a background where, in fact, he wants to move to JS2. All right, he's 15 years of age, and then because of his environment, he came from the village where you may necessarily go to the farm before school or after school. Nobody checks your books, you are just there. So the first day we met, it was terrible when we started classes. I was like, can you count 1, 2, 3? I think he tried. Can you read ABCD from A to Z? It was difficult. He could not read up to the 26 letters. He skipped up to 3 letters. And then it got to a point where I noticed that he could look at a particular letter and call it another thing. He could look at N and call it E.
Mm.
So we had to start prepping and making classes available for him to catch up. I remember the first time I asked him, I said, who is your friend in school? Where he schools here? He said, he called his name, and then I say, okay, if Jude is your best friend in class, I'd like you to spell Jude.
Okay.
So we started trying to spell. We got to A, E, I, O, U, Ba, Baby, Bobu, and all of that. And then the first time he attempted spelling Jude, he started with G.
Mm.
So we had to look for a way around it, and finally we arrived at that. The problem with him I see is not his genetic factors now or factor or his mutation, but his environment, because he is not being challenged by circumstances around to make him strive. Man by nature is a being that adapts. For example, you see now that in our country, everyone is adapting and surviving. Things were not this difficult, things were not this hard. But because we have to live on, we have to be sustained. We are now adapting. Whoever is not adapting is not meeting up the standard, because you are not proving that you're intelligent. So the environment is causing us and forcing us to become better versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
And then the genetic factor. There are people who, by let's say hereditary, they are not really that it when it comes to upstairs.
Okay.
So you say, your father be no sabi book. Your mother said na so una dey. And then you said you can't do like that. By the way, there's a scientific what is it called now? A scientific result that proves that the intelligence of a child comes from the mother. I don't know how true that is. If that is true, it means we need to begin to ask questions when we want to marry. Answer, are you intelligent? You are not intelligent.
Well,
so that we can be sure.
Okay.
So that we will not give birth to children who they are made to become inventors or innovators or active persons. And then because of the wife where you marry, you are now going to have a reason to say, my wife is not intelligent, so all my children are dumb.
One thing I would just try to say about that is that, I would not want to support that fully. What am I saying is, we have some situation whereby the parents are not so much intelligent like that, and they have an intelligent child or intelligent children, very intelligent. In some families, we may have 5 children in a family, and one will be more outstanding in the area of academics. That's why I need to bring it down to the aspect where intelligence quotient cut across. It cut across academic performance, problem solving skills, and adaptability. So in a family now of 5, we may have one that will have more strength in the area of academics. We have one that will have more strength in the area of technicality, maybe solving something, like engineering skills, stuff like that. We may have one that can adapt the more. So talking about this intelligence quotient, I don't want us to basically make it on academic performance alone. Now, I'm about saying something the other time when you're discussing about this issue of, okay, the environment, or you have to be challenged by your mates. I have a practical example about myself. I could remember when I was preparing for my higher institution. So a mate of mine came to my dad's shop to train on computer. So I was the one that was teaching him then on how to type the keyboard, stuff like that. But one issue then is that when I used to type, I used to check keyboard that time. I'm not that perfect not checking keyboard. Now I went to school. Coming back from school, I saw my friend typing without looking the keyboard. Mr. James, I was challenged. I told myself that no, Deepo, you have to work on yourself. When I went back to school, I make sure I trained myself personally to make sure that I did not look keyboard again. So when I came back home again, when I have a mid time, I break from school, I came back home again. My friend saw me typing without looking keyboard. He was so surprised.
Yeah, yeah.
And later on, I told him that you were the one that challenged me because I was very surprised when I came back from school. Then he was typing without checking keyboard. How that started training you? I'm still checking keyboard. I told myself that no, I need to work on myself in that aspect. So I'm just trying to buttress the point that saying that you have to be challenged by your mates, by your environment. If a child or a word is in a particular area that is not being challenged, it's going to have an adverse effect on that child. Now, Mr. James, I have another question for you again because I want our viewers to understand this very well. Before I ask you the question, I would like to buttress this point again. Dear viewers, dear parents, make sure you study your child very well. Your child may be very good in the aspect of problem solving, e.g., engineering. Your child may be very good in the aspect of academics. And the third one, adaptability. Make sure you study that child very well. Don't just conclude on any child that a child is dull. There is no dull child. Every child is a genius. Every child is good in one particular thing or the other. Now to Mr. James, my question: is it possible to be intelligent in one particular area and not intelligent in another particular area?
Okay. I think if we put that question this way to say, is it possible to be smart in one area
Okay,
and not to be smart in the other area? The answer will simply be yes. I keep saying, and I will say it again,
okay.
that my parents
Mm,
are happy that they have me, and I'm happy that I have them. At some point, I think that maybe, I don't know, but they just go back and they begin to wonder, so which kind of picking we born? Because I keep saying it that if my parents were not the way they are,
mm,
they for suffer because they will not see the born picking. This is about you understanding that each child can be able to carve a niche for himself or herself in a home where you don't put all the workload on one person like some parents do. They
okay.
like Angela and they don't like Bobby.
Mm, mm,
They
mm.
say, let's say Caroline is mommy's girl, and then Akpan is daddy's boy, and then that becomes a problem in the house. So I see that even in my house,
Okay.
I am smarter when it comes to some things, and my younger ones are smarter when it comes to other things. So,
Mm,
for you to be a good parent or
mm,
a good guardian, you understand that, okay, when it comes to problem solving, I
mm,
have a situation, I need later type, and yet I cannot do that just now because I have something else to do.
mm,
You call and say, Gideon, come and do this. Gideon comes and
mm.
he's tackling that perfectly.
Okay.
It's okay. I needed my clothes ironed,
Okay.
but I think I still have to take a call before I rush to do another thing.
Okay.
And then you say, Esther, where are you? Get my clothes set.
Okay.
That will mean that you have different children functioning in different capacity. The
Okay.
home will be a better place.
Okay.
But if you now say, uh, Angela, you are supposed to do this thing. I expect you to know how to do it. See your younger one or see your elder brother doing it, and you are not doing it. What are you? You are good for nothing. That is because you've not discovered the area where that particular child is good in.
Okay.
Some children can go to school and they will have very low grades when it comes to quantitative reasoning or even mathematics.
Okay.
You don't expect everybody to know further mathematics like sir. Me, I don't think I will do well. In fact, I passed all my degree exams. The mathematics I did, I passed these exams by miracle. I keep saying it. So if you expect me to do extremely good in mathematics, you will not see me.
Mm,
And I understand that already, so I will not kill myself.
mm,
I'll just need to get the grades and go to the next level.
mm,
But I have my own area of strength. So if you give me the area of strength, you see me perform.
mm.
So it is possible that a child can be smart or intelligent in one area and finds it difficult in another area or strives to succeed in another area.
Yeah.
That means everyone should understand he or herself first, and then you do well in that area.
Hmm. So what we can deduct from what you have just said now is just try and understand yourself. And parents should also understand their word very well. This is very important. Understand your word. And also, I will say the child must be open-minded. I as someone now, I must be open-minded very well. Wherever I get to, I should have it in mind that I must be ready to learn. I can't know everything. Okay, I studied mathematics. Okay, that is my own area. So when I go to other profession, so you have to sit down, they will lecture you, do this, do that. Yes, because the person have a vast knowledge in that particular
Yes,
area.
there's no professor of everything
There's
now.
no professor of
There's
everything.
you become a professor in a streamlined course.
Yeah, and I remember you said something so some days back. You said that maybe when you are consistent in doing something, it makes you more brilliant in that aspect.
Yes, you
So
become best from that area.
yes, just like let's take our medical profession as an example. We have some medical practitioners that they are specialized in one particular area in heart, brain, ear, teeth.
Cardiologist.
So because why is this possible? It is you have to they have to do this because it's not possible for them to know everything. So they have to be specialized in one area in order to have vast knowledge in it and in order to get more brilliancy in that aspect. So it is very, very important. Mr. James, any other thing to add to it to tell our viewers?
I would like to say that we should keep our minds open, because the problem with close-minded people is that their mouths are open.
Their mouth are open.
If you are in an
Kai.
environment, you
Okay.
should know a little of everything. It's not about you knowing everything, all right? You
Okay.
should have an idea. For example, what's going on in Nigeria, the protests that is looming, and then the governance, and then the hashtag, and then all of these things. Just be aware of your environment, so that in case somebody just comes into you, and then it should be that people should not come to you and remain the same. You have solutions.
Okay.
People are asking questions. You don't know it and you are asking to know. How is this done? What's the meaning of this? It could be as simple as USB. We use USB cable and you don't know the meaning. It could be as simple as anything. What's the meaning of this? Ask questions. Get reliable answers or trustworthy answers. And then those answers should you should not let it not be like it is formatting what you know already, but you are adding to what you know. You become a better person like that. So that if you meet a child,
Okay.
and then that child is asking you, uncle, what is a noun? And you say, I was taught a noun in primary school. I don't know what it is again. I beg, leave me alone. You are making that child feel bad. All the national anthem we have now, a lot of us are yet to cope. But children know. So they'll not come to say, uncle,
Okay.
so what's the meaning of how is this line, sir? And then you don't know. You should just have an idea, know a little of everything, a little of sports. I hardly watch football, but at least I know the result when it comes out. I watch World Cup and those minor, but I'm not a fan of the club.
Okay.
A little of religion. Yeah, Christian, and yet you know about maybe traditional or Islamic. A little of education. And then more of your course where you specialize, so that you become an authority. You speak authoritatively when it comes to your field. And yet you know a little of other things. So that in case somebody meets you and the person needs solution, you can help.
So now, one thing I'll just say is that we have to go beyond mediocrity.
Yes.
It is very important.
Absolutely.
In this
That's the word.
era, you have to go beyond mediocrity. My dear viewers, I know you have been getting motivated since by my able brother here. So, at this junction, we are going to put an end to the program. Meet us in the next video, and don't forget, please, please subscribe. To be more updated, you have to subscribe, and we promise you that we'll keep on giving you an interesting and impactful topic. Thank you so much, and bye for now.
My pleasure. Thank you.